Howdy ho, guys and gals. Jeff King here, back again here in the Den of Tools with a quick first look for you at the new Doyle Vises from Harbor Freight. We're going to do a quick overview of the 6-inch one, take a look at it as compared to the old Central Forge, which, as I've said before, are a piece of junk. I've said don't buy them. Even though I have one, I got lucky. It was one of the old school things where the old Central Forge, let me jump over to it here. The old Central Forge would... They're made of cast iron versus ductile iron. All the new ones are made of ductile iron. And these things, the old blue ones, had a notorious habit of just snapping for no reason. You looked at it wrong. You said it wasn't looking pretty today. I don't know. And it would just snap on you. Anyway, let's jump in and let's take a quick look and see how, just the overview, at least the skin level deep look of the new Doyle Vise, and see how it looks. Well, here they are on a bench side by side. The blue one's bolted down. The red one is not. I just want to give you a side comparison, considering that these are basically in the same class, if you would. Now, Harbor Freight, look at this, 6.5 inches. They rarely undersell their stuff, but in this case they have. The blue one is a true 6-inch. In fact, on the side of the vise, it says 6.5 inches. Anyway, we're going to pull it out here and show you, what kind of features and stuff. It's got the pipe grippers on the inside. You've got the replaceable jaw faces there. That's really nice. Of course, you want to get like maybe some copper, some rubber ones to go over that, soft face ones for when you're working with other materials. Anyway, the build construction is really solid. It looks really good. There's no sharp edges or anything where they didn't, it wasn't finished. A lot of times I see things coming out of a mold, because this is a cast item. It's cast ductile iron as opposed to cast iron. And often you see things coming out and they've got, not quite as polished, if you would. Anyway, nice size anvil on the back, a little cap on the back to kind of seal it, make it look nice and finished. I did use my tape measure here. It's got bagged on the back because there were reports on the cheaper ones of there being voids that were then filled in with some other kind of non-metal thing when they pulled out of the foundry. So, just checking it, just making sure there's nothing under the hood there that we're, or I say under the paint that we're missing. Anyway, it's a good, solid, vise. I said 6.5 inches. It says it on the vise. But they don't put it in the marketing. That's really weird for Harbor Freight, at least. Anyway, I'm pretty happy with it. I'm stoked to get it in the shop. I was about to go out and buy one anyway when they said that they'd send it to me. One thing I really like, though, is the rubber on these handles. Yeah, it makes it a lot easier on the ears. Well, there you go. You know what? It looks good. As you see, I didn't even have it clamped down. Don't have it bolted down yet. We're in the middle of transitioning. We're moving out of this shop. So I'm not going to get a chance to give it a full, beating on it, if you would. I think just, first looks, it looks pretty good. I have high hopes for it. If you go by in comparison to how Harbor Freight has done with stepping up the level and all their other stuff, especially the Doyle stuff, I've been really happy with it. I know a lot of you have as well. If it's not for you, that's fine. A lot of people say this is a clone of the Wilton. Just a quick look at the Wilton. I don't quite see it because the comparable Wilton is going to be this one. This is $530 versus the $200 on the Harbor Freight. It's a lot blockier. You can really tell in the head. Now, if you took the body of this one and combined it with the head of the Bullet one, it would be a closer resemblance, kind of a morphing of the two. Of course, the Bullet Vise is $840. It's ductile iron also. In fact, both of these are, which is, I find very interesting. You see that even in the high-end vices, you'll see ductile iron because it'll bend rather than break. Cast iron, pretty strong, but not very flexible. And in this case, that's something you're definitely going to want. Is it worth $200? I don't know. I would have to say, I think it's definitely worth $150. Is it worth $200? Yeah, it's probably worth $200. I'm real kind of a bargain bear kind of person, and I always want the bottom dollar on it. I wouldn't, if you bought full price, if you went and paid $200 on this, I don't think you'd get a bad deal on it, especially compared to how much people are asking for stuff from on Craigslist. Before I got this, Harbor Freight did send this over. I don't know if I mentioned that before. Before I got this, oh my gosh, I looked all over Craigslist and Facebook Marketplace, and people were wanting ridiculous money for vices and anvils and all this stuff. Oh, and by the way, this does have an anvil. It's over there. It has an anvil on the back of it. It's not that big. It's not something I use a lot. I have another small anvil. I have a railroad one also, and But you know what? It's there if you need it, that case. Anyway, that's your first look. Let me know what you think down in the comments. Is this something you're going to be considering? It's an easy pickup at a reasonable price, especially if you can snag one of the now rare 20% off coupons. And if you can get one of those, what are you're going to say? You're going to take it down to, was it 160 on it? At 160, that's kind of a no-brainer. I don't think you're going to come close. People, say, well, I want USA-made tools. Do you have any idea how much a USA-made vise like this would go for? It would be ugly to your wallet. But you know what? If you got the money to do it, you go for it. Anyway, that's all the Bear has for you today. You all take care. God bless. And as always, shine on.